Welcome back to the final episode of Dining with Derion, Season 1. You've heard it right, people. Dining with Derion has come to the final episode of Season 1. So on today's menu, we're gonna have mac and cheese. I wanna give a special shout out to Lent for requesting this recipe. I have pondered on making mac and cheese. I've seen all the comments, people, and we have finally made it to this episode of Dining with Derion and his famous mac and cheese. Let's get to it.
1, 2, 3.
An all-new series that captures the essence of traditional Southern and classic meals, bringing families together with tried and true recipes passed down from one generation to the next. So pull up a chair and join me. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna get into today are the ingredients for a mac and cheese. So first thing, we have our elbow noodles. We have half and half. And then our cheeses, we're gonna go in with some mild cheddar cheese, some sharp cheddar cheese, some Gouda slices, and then in the mixture, I'm gonna also add some of this queso cheese dip. So I usually do cheese whiz, kind of in the same kind of jar, but it's cheese whiz. And then we have some country crock butter. You don't have to use that kind specifically. And then in the end, we're gonna season it up with these seasonings. A little salt, pepper, and then a little chicken bouillon flavor seasoning. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn my oven on because this gonna go a little fast. So I'm gonna bake this at about 375. And while that's preheating, I have my water already here boiling. And I'm not gonna just boil my noodles in regular water, right? I'm gonna use pretty much like a chicken broth. And to make my chicken broth, I'm gonna use this better than bouillon, chicken flavor. So I'm just gonna scoop a little bit of this out, and I'm just gonna right in on that water. Okay, so for my measurements, the way I do it when I'm baking the macaroni, whatever dish that I'm actually gonna do the last baking in of the dish, I measure how much macaroni I'm gonna use by using that dish. So what I do is I just cover the bottom of whatever dish I'm using to bake it in. And that's my measurement, literally. Whatever dish I'm using. And then right on top of, if y'all can see, my chicken stock pretty much, I'm gonna just go right in with those noodles. And with these noodles, we're gonna boil them for about 9 minutes. When you're baking macaroni, or anything really for that matter, that's a noodle, you always wanna cook the noodle, undercook the noodle rather than overcook it. Because when it goes in the oven, you're gonna be cooking it a little more, right? So it'll finish the cooking process. So I'm gonna go in about 9 minutes. So while we have the noodles boiling for those 9 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and make the cheese sauce for our macaroni. So I'm gonna go in with a little butter like that. I've seen people do this with flour. Me personally, I don't like to use flour in mine. I've done it like that, and I've done it without it. There's really not a difference, you can tell. So I'm gonna just use this butter as the base, and then once this melts down, I'm gonna go right on top of it with my half and half before I start adding the different cheeses.
Question for you.
Yes.
Will you be using bacon?
I will not be using bacon in this recipe. So, I mean, that's not a bad idea, actually. But no, I will not be using bacon in this recipe.
No
I love.
bacon.
No, there won't be any garnished bacon in this recipe because we kind of want to keep macaroni traditional. If not the flavor, at least the look, right? So we just gonna leave it just the cheese and the noodles for the most part. Okay, so I have that butter over about medium heat and it's melted, as you all can see. And then right on top of that, I'm gonna go in with this half and half. Again, I don't usually make a roux with the flour and the butter. I just use butter. I've made it with the roux before, and it's just an extra step, but you really can't tell the difference. So I'm gonna go in with, if I had to say a measurement, that's about 1.5 cups because I'm not making a lot of macaroni. And before I go in with the cheeses, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let this half and half come up to kind of like a simmer, so you can see pretty much the steam coming off of it right before the boil. And again, it's on the over medium heat because I don't want my cheese to cook too fast. So probably like when it comes up to like that little simmer, I'm gonna turn it down to about 2 or 3 so it can cook a little slower because the heat has built up within my pot. And then I'm gonna go with my cheese to get them melted all together. Okay, so my half and half and butter has come to like a little steam, if y'all can see it. If you can get in there pretty close. So at this point, I'm gonna turn my stove down to about 3, right? Because that pot's hot. And then I'm going right on top of this with some cheese. I'm going with about half of this mild cheddar. I'm gonna go in with about half of this sharp cheddar. And then I'm gonna go with about 3 slices of this Gouda. Y'all see how this Gouda comes with the little paper that separates it? Makes it easier to come out. Boom. Let me go ahead and pull all of them out. So I'm gonna just do 3 slices into this mixture here. And then we're just gonna stir so it will not stick to our pan. And this is gonna be our cheese sauce. Y'all will see how it comes together here in a bit because again, this milk, half and half, is very hot. So it's gonna pretty much combine everything. And if you didn't know, cheese is made of milk. So it's pretty much like going back to a state before it became cheese.
Original state. Speaking of original state, I noticed your hair is different.
This is the original state of my hair. No, I dyed my hair about what, 2 weeks ago now? This is my 3rd, maybe 4th time in my life ever dyeing my hair. But I like it.
We got a question from the audience.
What's up, my audience?
So one question is, if you had to eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Salad. I love a good salad. Now it's gonna be a loaded salad. It ain't gonna be like no salad like we think.
What all would you have in this salad?
I'm gonna have ham. I'm gonna have bacon. Definitely gotta have bacon. I'm gonna have real bacon bits. I ain't talking about no fake ones. And then I'm gonna have some croutons. I'm gonna have some tomatoes. I'm gonna have some red onion, purple onion. I'm gonna have some eggs. I'm gonna have cheese, of course. And then I'm gonna have, y'all might think this is crazy. I might even cut me up a little anchovies on it. And then I'm gonna mix about 3 or 4 different dressings on it. Yeah, I can eat that every day. I can eat that every day. Okay, so my cheese sauce has come together, as y'all can see. And don't worry, because we're gonna use more cheese. It looks real super right now, right? But stay tuned. Okay, so I've turned that all the way down to low just to keep it warm. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna drain these noodles off. But before we drain them completely off, we're gonna save some of our noodle chicken broth water. You ain't gonna need much. I'm gonna just go right back into the same pan with my noodles. And then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna get the mixing. I'm gonna pour about, if you can come over here, I'm gonna pour about half of this cheese mixture right on top of my noodles. And then I'm gonna go in with some of my solidified cheese, shredded cheese, half of some of that. I'm gonna go in with some of that. I'm gonna go in with like 1 more slice of my Gouda cheese. And then this is where the magic comes in. I like personally making my own. Y'all might say, oh, this is chips dip. Hey, it's good to me, I'll tell you that much. I'm going right in that mixture with some of this dip here. And again, I usually use Cheese Whiz, but I've been using that and it tastes pretty good. And then at this point, we're gonna start seasoning up our mixture. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this black pepper. I'm gonna go in with some of this chicken flavor, just a little light coat over the top. And then a little salt. And then we're gonna give it our first mix. Okay, this is my mixture, as y'all can see, right? Really, really cheesy. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go straight into our baking dish. But we're only gonna pour about half of our mixture into the dish. And we're gonna pretty much do like a layer. So that's half of our mixture, right? I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna do the rest of this sharp cheddar cheese, which it really wasn't much. And I'm gonna go in with a layer of this mild cheddar cheese. And then right on top of that, I'm gonna go in with a little more seasoning. I'm gonna do a little of this black pepper. I'm gonna do a little of my salt. We don't want to season too heavy. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of my chicken flavor. And on top of this mixture, I'm gonna go in with my last bit of mac and cheese. Get all those noodles out the pot. Y'all know I got to scrape my cheese up out of here. We need everything. And very lastly, we're gonna top this off with the rest of our cheese. And we're gonna go in the oven at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. You can use as much or less cheese as you want. As y'all see, I ran out of cheese, but hey, that's fine because there's a lot of cheese inside this recipe. And we're gonna go uncovered. We're gonna bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm gonna go right in between. All right, so I'm gonna clean my stove and I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit about my mixture as we go on. Those are chitlins, by the way. But as y'all can see, sometimes you make a little more sauce than you need, but you can do one or two things. You can throw it away or you can freeze it. And then as y'all seen also, I did not use my noodle water. The reason I did not, my sauce was already soupy enough for me, for my liking. Sometimes your sauce can get really thick where you can like pretty much loosen it up with your noodle water. I didn't have to in this case, so that's why I didn't use it. And y'all will see how together that cheese is gonna bring it here once I bring it out of the oven. Okay, so my mac and cheese has about 2 minutes left. At this point, I turned on the broiler so we can get just a little brown on the top. So I'm gonna leave it in there about 3 minutes because it's completely done, just so I can get like a little brown on top, and then we're gonna come out the oven. All right, now my mac is done. I got a nice little brown hue on the top. I'm gonna grab it out country way. And then before we dig into this, I'm gonna wait about 5 or 10 minutes, let it cool down just a little bit, and then it's time to eat. Y'all see what I got back here on this back eye though? You see it, somebody already came up. Can't go wrong with chicken and mac. Can't go wrong with chicken and mac. Y'all see it. Ooh. Okay, we are now here to the part that we have all been waiting for. The taste test part, right? We always save the best for last. So I'm gonna just go ahead and dig straight in here with this with my lunchroom scoop. Man, y'all love to see all this cheesy gooiness. And we're gonna dig right in the taste. Y'all see how cheesy that is? It's still hot.
What's your first instant reaction?
Creamy. Y'all know I always love to say savory, but I got to say savory because you know why? All them good seasonings we put in here. I'm gonna taste it one more time for y'all. Y'all see that steam? Yeah. You can't, let me bite this chicken. Lord have mercy. Again, thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exclusive content. I want to take a brief moment to thank all of my supporters, my subscribers. I've seen all your comments. I've seen all the likes. I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank you all for the support that you all have shown. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it.
We definitely want to take the time to give you your flowers.
Oh my God.
So,
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These smell, oh my God. It's like a firework, a fire show. They smell so amazing. I definitely appreciate it. All right, until next time, see you in the next season of Dining with Derion. Peace.